This is Original Sports Perspective, from my couch to yours. This is the Couch Rider Report podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine Lockett. I want to talk about last week. The picks for week 7, all the teams I decided to take a chance on, those were the ones I was wrong on. I chose Pittsburgh over Kansas City. I was wrong. I thought New York Jets would be the team to beat New England. I was wrong. I was close, but I was wrong. And then I thought Cleveland actually had a chance against St. Louis. Forgive me, y'all. I was dead wrong. I shouldn't have did it. Bad, Jermaine. Bad. We'll just stick to the facts from now on. We know who's beatable and who's not. So here we go. Week 8. Week 8. I have New England over Miami. I know Miami's got a new coach, and good things are happening down there, but let's face it. Thursday, it's not even going to be close. New England just performs at a higher level, both on offense and defense, and things like the way that Chandler Jones, not to be confused with Bones Jones, that defense is on a whole nother level. So performing the way that they do, and Tom Brady performing like the GOAT right now. And it seems like if you shut down Julian Edelman, he finds Danny Amendola. You shut down Gronk, he's going to find Julian Edelman. Pick your poison. You just have to figure out how you're going to get beat. But these Patriots, they're unstoppable right now. I hate to say that because those words they're disgusting coming out of my mouth because I'm not a Pats fan. Although I like Julian Edelman, I'm not a Pats fan. Anyway, New England over Miami. Moving on. Detroit, Kansas City. I picked Pittsburgh over Kansas City because I thought they could not get it done without Jamal Charles. Apparently, they proved me wrong because I thought Landry was on point and I thought he would be able to pull it off. But, now moving on to this week, we're looking at Detroit versus Kansas City, and I still can't go with Kansas City. I'm sorry. No, I think Detroit has more powerful offense, and they're going to pull things together this week. This is my wild card. Sorry, I told you I was going to stick to the facts, but I got to go with my heart. And I say Megatron, with Tate, with Riddick, with Ebron, all these offensive weapons, they have got to be able to beat Kansas City. I just don't have faith in Kansas City's quarterback. I like Kelsey. The rest is I'm not a fan of the rest of the team. I'm just not a fan of it. Anyway, moving on. Cincinnati against Pittsburgh. I chose Cincinnati because Cincinnati just seems like they're just an all-around powerful team. They have a great ground game. They got A.J. Green. The defense is just monstrous. I can't find a flaw in that defense, honestly. And here we are with Pittsburgh just stumbling into another week with tons of injuries. Backup quarterback. They say Ben might start. Who knows? If Pittsburgh were to win this, it would be because of the performance of Martavis Bryant and Le'Veon Bell. But I still got Cincinnati pulling this off because they are really hot this year, and I believe they're going to take the AFC North with no problem. Especially no problem for my team. Oof. We're looking forward to the draft next year. 1-6. You got to be kidding me. Anywho, moving on. Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. Jameis Winston, you're trash. The Tampa Bay's defense is absolute hot garbage. So anybody wants to score on them in fantasy, just put everybody you have, including your kicker, up against Tampa Bay, and you'll win, no doubt. Atlanta, Devontae Freeman, you are ridiculous. Julio Jones, everybody going to be doing the Julio. Do the Julio. Y'all, I hope y'all seen the dance. Go watch the video. It's crazy. Not the one where he's doing a knife chop on Madden. Anywho, back to the facts. The way that Devontae Freeman is running, he only got slowed down by Tennessee last week. Same thing with Matt Ryan. He got slowed down a bit. He's still going to be putting up decent points with Julio there. It doesn't matter if Julio has a hamstring issue or whatever. the guy will ball out. He has plenty of other targets with Harry Douglas and was it Toyolo or whatever his name is. He doesn't matter who he throws the ball to, he's gonna get there. But he has a favorite, of course, in Julio. And they will overcome Tampa Bay. I just don't see Tampa Bay keeping up with Jameis Winston just being Jameis Winston. I'm just not a fan of that guy. Anyway, moving on to New York Giants versus New Orleans Saints. This is a tough one for me because I am definitely a fan of Odell Beckham and Randall and whoever is the running back in New York, because apparently the ground game is so good, it doesn't matter who's back there. They just go ahead and pick guys like Darkwa and Jennings and Vereen and Williams and whoever else they can pick up off the street. Hell, I might get a job over there running for the New York Giants. You might just see me out there on a random. Like, oh, Lockett. Like, oh, who's that? Yeah, I got a job running. Anywho, New Orleans, they look great right now. I see a resilient bunch of individuals. I see a new connection with Ben Watson and Drew Brees that makes people say, who was Jimmy Graham? Who cares now? And then you got a Snead. Everybody needs a Snead. I figure with him, Ben Watson, with Brandon Cook's explosive, just crazy talent, and a Ryan's defense that is starting to catch fire. I believe they're going to make Eli make some mistakes. I got New Orleans over New York. Moving on to Minnesota and Chicago. Big fan of Stephon Diggs. I don't think Jay Cutler's getting it right this year. You know, you got the biggest target on the field, Martellus Bennett, and you're not using them properly. You deserve to lose. AP is going to run all over these boys. Stephon Diggs may have 2 touchdowns. First time in his career, I'm calling him. Might have 2 touchdowns this game. Teddy Bridgewater is finding targets. He doesn't have too much of a loyalty towards Diggs because he's finding Wallace at the same time and Rudolph. So I'm definitely going with Minnesota over Chicago. Look for Bridgewater to have a career day. Arizona over Cleveland. Simply because, well, it's Cleveland. I mean, they give up the cookies all the time in the secondary, and they just got embarrassed by a top defense in St. Louis. And I think Johnny Manziel is going to be on the stage, and he's not going to be able to run that much against these guys. Arizona is definitely a high caliber offense and defense, and they're just overall better team than Cleveland. So I'm going with Arizona over Cleveland. Next is San Diego and Baltimore. Y'all going to be mad at me. Smart pick. I'm going to tell you how the smart pick, and I'm going to tell you my pick. The smart pick is San Diego over Baltimore. What I chose, because I'm a little biased. Okay, I'm a lot biased. I'm a lot biased. I am a Baltimore Ravens fan through and through, and I believe that this team will not go 1-7 this year. It will not happen. San Diego is going to be the team that we pull it together at home for this victory. And I'm telling you right now, Crockett Gilmore and Joe Flacco are going to get that connection and go off like him and Dennis Pitta did. I believe that Dean Pease is actually going to go study some game tape and figure out how to create pressure, because the boy can't blitz to save his life. All this talent, and he ain't doing nothing with it. I truly believe that Elvis Duverville is going to lead this defense to a victory. Joe Flacco is just going to do himself and not make those mistakes in the fourth quarter that he's done this year. No more fourth quarter interceptions today. He's going to lead them past San Diego. San Diego had a complete beat down last week, and I think they're going to suffer another loss this week. So let's go Baltimore over San Diego. Moving on to San Francisco and St. Louis. You know, St. Louis is catching fire. I mean, Todd Gurley, woo, blew it up last week. I'm talking about 2 touchdowns. Basically. I think he had over 100-some yards, 127 yards, I think. And against San Francisco, who, you know, I'm not a fan of Kaepernick. After seeing Thursday night's game, it was just an embarrassment to the organization to have that guy back there as a signal caller. You're talking about a guy who just is not making great decisions right now. He's throwing balls into the dirt. He's scrambling in the backfield, but it's east and west and it's not north and south. And the pay dirt is right there. The first down marker is just 2 yards away. The lane is there, and instead of actually doing what Colin Kaepernick does best and throwing the ball, or excuse me, and running the ball, he decides he wants to throw the ball. And I don't get it. I think he should have ran for those couple of first downs, and that could have been the difference in the game between San Francisco and Seattle. So if he continues to make those bad decisions, St. Louis is definitely going to take advantage of it because they got some great pass rush. They have a great secondary. I mean, the defense is just stout. It's scary. I would not like to line up against that team on Sunday. Uh, Go Rams. I mean, the offense is pulling itself together. I mean, Tavon Austin, oh, man. You know, he's just lightning fast. They use him correctly in the slot and downfield on play action passes, especially with Gurley doing his thing. It's going to be one heck of a day. San Francisco, I got you losing to St. Louis. Moving on. Tennessee against Houston. You know, Brian Hoyer looks pretty good. He didn't look good last week. But I just think Miami had their day right there. They just they did it up. And I believe even without an Arian Foster, I think that Tennessee is going to lose to Houston. Some of y'all might be upset by this. I mean, I'm probably pissing people off, people throwing furniture right now. But you know what? I don't care. I'm calling it. Houston over Tennessee. Because I think Brian Hoyer and Hopkins are going to hook up and have a great day. And I believe Alfred Blue, a former LSU guy, sorry, I'm a little biased, he got talent. Maybe not as much as Arian Foster, but the boy got wheels on him. And I think as long as that line continues to create those holes, Tennessee's defense, as great as it is not going to hold up 2 weeks straight. I'm going with Houston over Tennessee. Next is New York at Oakland. Amari Cooper had a field day. A complete field day with them boys. I'm talking about, you have 133 yards receiving. Might have been more than that. I gotta find my phone and figure out how much. But anyway, the boy went off. I was just completely shocked to see him pull out a game like that against San Diego. And it wasn't like he was the only one receiving the passes. This man received so much, along with Michael Crabtree receiving more catches. I think Mike Crabtree had 6 catches for, I think it was under 100 yards and a touchdown. And Amari Cooper had, he broke the 100 mark and had a touchdown, but he had only 5 receptions. Crabtree had 6. Heck of a game. I just could not believe it. Anywho, with that said, I think it's still, they got to line up against Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis and Cromartie are probably the best corners in the league. They may have had a little bit too much to work with on last Sunday with New England. But when it boils down to it, when they're playing a quarterback that is not Tom Brady, it's a little bit easier to get your money or to earn your money. So you kind of just look at it like, hey, New York, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, Oakland's defense is not as great as New York's defense. I'm calling it New York over Oakland. Then you have Seattle and Dallas in Jerry's world. If Tony Romo was back there throwing the ball, I would be all over this game going for Dallas. That's the problem. I like Matt Castle because he's been through it, and he has so much real game experience that he could come out there and he might be able to pull off this win. But might is not good enough in my book. I think Seattle just has Tyler Lockett on point right now. They're able to use him in play action and launch the ball, and he's taking advantage of every play that he gets, even though it may be only 5 per game. He just maximizes his playmaking ability, whether it be in the punt return, kickoff return, or as a receiver. Now they got Jimmy Graham actually doing his thing. I think Russ Wilson will prevail against the Dallas Cowboys. And we have Green Bay against Denver for the Sunday night game. The undefeateds. Well, Monday morning, one of them will be singing a new tune, and it's going to be Denver. Denver will be still undefeated. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but Denver's defense is just too stout for Green Bay to deal with. Aaron Rodgers is an amazing quarterback, but he is prone to make mistakes when he is pressured a little bit too much. I mean, go look at the San Diego game, Green Bay versus San Diego. I think he threw 2 picks in there. I think they were back-to-back. And Peyton might throw some picks this time around too, but I still think Denver's defense is going to bail Green Bay out. If they can control James Jones, this game will be over. It'll be really quick. Denver takes out Green Bay. Then we're going on to the Monday night game. Monday night game, Indianapolis at Carolina. Cam Newton, if he can ever figure out how to put some touch on the ball, he might actually blow this team out. But I think he's going to make some mistakes because he keeps throwing these balls a little bit too high, a little bit too much on it. You need to take a little bit of weight off in the gym, maybe just do some toning reps because this dude is all muscle and he's launching these 95-mile-per-hour fastballs. If they were baseballs, it would be. But he's launching about a 60-mile-per-hour fastball as far as using the NFL ball. And Indianapolis, I'm sorry, the team is just not on point this year. There's no chemistry there, and I think the leadership is off. I think Andrew Luck has issues. He's not a Matt Hasselbeck, and he just does not be as decisive, and that is going to be a big problem when it comes to facing the Carolina's defense with Norman back there ready for you to try him. He's getting a little bored on that side of the field, hoping somebody tries him so he can go and make a play. I think Andrew Luck is going to try him because he's going to try to get to T.Y. Hilton, who's Norman is going to be playing. So, with that said, I think Cam Newton and them stick it to the ground. A little bit of triple option. You're going to see Cam get about 73 yards rushing, probably 1 touchdown passing, 1 touchdown rushing. You're going to see Jonathan Stewart get a touchdown. You might see Ted Ginn get a touchdown. Look for Carolina to have a big day against Indianapolis. I got Carolina over in Indianapolis. And that's your picks for the day. This is the Original Sports Perspective from our couch to yours. Thanks for listening to the Cash Running Report podcast. You have a great night.